Today, I want to talk about murder. More specifically, homicide. Fun topic, I know, but just stick with me. It'll be like Dateline, but just with fewer commercials and significantly less Keith Morrison. I'm sorry. Homicide is when one person essentially causes the death of another human being, and that's it. Not every homicide is considered a murder because sometimes homicide can be lawful, especially if somebody was using self-defense. In Colorado, we have 5 main criminal flavors of homicide. Think of it as like Baskin Robbins, but instead of ice cream, it's like 5 felony flavors. The first is first-degree murder. This is the big one. It means that somebody killed someone intentionally and they planned it. Premeditation, if you will. Like if someone sits around thinking, you know what? Tomorrow feels like a great day for murder, and then they go and do murder. It's like someone spends weeks buying supplies, writing notes, and planning to poison their business partner. They thought about it in advance, they planned it, and then they did it. That's premeditation. Also in this category is felony murder. So if someone dies during the commission of certain felonies, even if the killer didn't intend it, they can still be charged with homicide. So, for example, you rob a grocery store and your buddy accidentally shoots someone. Congratulations, you both just won a murder charge. No balloons, no confetti, just a life sentence. Like Dog the Bounty Hunter. He was the getaway driver in a robbery that ended up with someone being shot. So even though Dog the Bounty Hunter didn't pull the trigger, he was still charged with homicide as a result of a felony being committed and someone dying during the commission of a felony. Then we have second-degree murder. This is when someone knowingly causes another's death, but it wasn't pre-planned. Basically, it's murder in the heat of the moment. Lawyers love to call it things like voluntary manslaughter, but let's just be real. It's the legal system's way of saying, we get it, you were mad, but still, you killed a guy. And so it's all about knowingly causing death, but it doesn't include that premeditation aspect of it. So, for example, 2 people get into a heated bar fight. One pulls a knife out and kills the other in the moment. There's no planning, but still, you had a knife on them and you used it as a deadly weapon. A second and more common could be a heat of the moment kind of homicide. So a spouse comes home and finds that their partner is in bed with another person, and in a fit of rage, they grab a gun and shoot both the individuals. It's a snap decision, and that makes it second degree. And so it's murder in the heat of a moment. So if you ever hear anything about heat of the moment, we're generally talking about second degree murder. Then we have manslaughter. And the key word for manslaughter is recklessness, which essentially means you knew something was risky, but you did it anyway. So this is like driving 100 miles an hour in a snowstorm because you totally got this, but spoiler alert, you don't. You wreck and you kill someone. This would be called manslaughter. Colorado also recognizes vehicular manslaughter, which is when you mix cars with bad decisions like drunk driving. So recklessly causing a death can include, someone firing a gun into the air on New Year's Eve. The bullet comes down and then it kills a bystander. Like, shooting a gun into the air is dangerous, but you did it anyway. Another example could be a driver who is street racing 100 miles per hour in downtown Denver and causes a fatal crash. And so the person wasn't trying to kill anyone, but they knew that their actions were risky and they decided to go through with it anyway. Then we have criminally negligent homicide. And this one is about gross negligence, behavior that is so careless that it is actually criminal. So unlike manslaughter, you don't even have to know that you're engaging in risky behavior. It's kind of like a legal equivalent of you should have known better, and honestly, like everyone else did, so we don't understand why you didn't. So it's death caused by gross negligence, behavior that is so careless that it becomes criminal. So, for example, a construction worker ignoring safety protocols and leaving heavy equipment unsecured, and then it falls and kills someone. That would be gross negligence. A parent leaving a loaded gun on a coffee table and a child accidentally shoots someone. So those are the different degrees of homicide in Colorado. But we also recognize that there are different types of murders, from serial to mass to spree. And so the differences really rely in the number of people who are killed and the frequency and place in which they are killed. So serial murder involves 3 or more killings with a cooling off period in between. And so the key with serial murder is that there is a cooling off period. This means that the killer commits a murder and then goes back to normal life for a while. Maybe they go to work, binge Netflix, pay rent, complain about traffic, and then later commit another murder. and then another murder, and then another murder. That makes them a serial murderer. So that cooling off is like a creepy reset button. And these breaks can last for weeks, months, and even a year. Mass murder occurs when there are 4 or more people in one event in one place who are murdered. So this is your typical, public shooting or school shooting where someone goes into a building, kills 4 or more people in one place. That would be a mass murder. And then you have spree killings. And this involves 2 or more murders in a short period of time. There's no cooling off. It's basically like someone starts at a gas station and kills them, and then drives a couple blocks and starts killing people at a mall, and then drives on the freeway and goes into a different state and kills people in a park. And so it is a spree killing. They are doing 2 or more homicides in a short period of time, rapidly right after each other. So Homicide in Colorado, it is all about intent and circumstance. Did you plan it? Did you lose your cool? Were you just so reckless that the law decided to call you out? Either way, the takeaway is simple. Don't kill people. It's not just illegal. It's also just like a huge downer.